Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. How's everyone doing today? Let me try Instagram again. So connect to Instagram. Come on in. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I don't have a lot of time this morning. Tops, I have about 12 minutes. So I'm just going to answer your questions, as you bring them in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let's just jump right into it. I have some bad news for you guys as it pertains to immigration. I'm really super sad to share this news, but it's what it is. Immigration fees are in fact going up. They are going up in as late as 90 days, as early as the next couple of weeks, months, but 90 days basically is what they're looking at for the final rule. Most of the cases that you guys on this live might be interested in is going up. The fees are going up, unfortunately. A lot of them we're seeing like either like a $500 to $600 increase. I don't have the chart in front of me, so I can't really list out all of them. But immigration filing fees are going up. So usually they give them 90 days, but the news that I got yesterday basically said even though they're giving them 90 days, they can still make a decision much earlier than the 90 days because I guess USCIS needs the funds or the resources because they haven't raised their filing fees in 8 years. So this is kind of like urgent to them, and in line with, I guess, recession and inflation. So just be aware of that. So if you've been dilly-dallying, you better do your stuff now and get it out now. Of course, in addition to that, this is an election year. I mean, I can't tell you the kind of craziness that happens, between an election and them voting for a new president. We don't know who's going to be in office. We don't know what their stance is going to be on immigration. If, most of you on here, if you guys were part of the immigrant ban, i.e. people from Nigeria, people petitioning for parents, or LPRs and, things like that. Remember, 4 years ago, there was a ban on Nigeria and certain other countries, certain other African countries and Muslim countries. So depending on who's in office, this ban might be reinstated because Trump has promised that if he does become the president, he's going to, reinstate those bans and just make it really tough, for people coming through the border. So if you're eligible for something, you definitely want to start your process ASAP. Stop, shopping around, pick somebody, just go file your stuff because so much is about to happen, All right, let me just answer some questions. If you'd like to schedule consultations, Riley, just call 407-995-6567. You can also send a WhatsApp to 404-333-8751. Okay? Should you go to your adjustment of status interview if your spouse is incarcerated? Absolutely. You should not miss your interview or they'll automatically deny you. Usually they can still conduct the interview and still ask you certain questions, even if they are incarcerated. So please make sure you attend your interview. If you have this person, if you have no qualifying relative because you're divorced, can you still qualify for a 601 self-petition? You can only do a 601 waiver as a self-qualifying relative of your own self if you're submitting a VAWA application. Is that what you're submitting? If that's the case, then you can do it as yourself. Otherwise, you need a qualifying relative. Keep in mind that your qualifying relative is not only your spouse, it can also be your parent, and they could be LPRs or green card holders, okay? Amber, hello, I'm a DACA recipient since 10 years old. I wanted to know what will happen to DACA in the upcoming year since it's an election year. I also filed my VAWA as of October 2023. Sorry to say, I don't know. They're definitely not taking any new, they're not making any decisions on any new DACA applications. They'll collect your money for your application, but they're definitely not making any decision. And like what I just said earlier, it just depends on who is in office because if we have someone that's opposed to a lot of the immigration stuff in office, i.e., the other president, if he ends up winning, it's not looking good. So hopefully your VAWA comes through and you can have that path, okay? MK says, dear attorney, since you're dealing with lots of successful VAWA cases, do all witness letters get verified by USCIS either by calling or home visiting, or have you ever had a VAWA case under the situation? Affidavits generally no, but sometimes with the VAWA applicants, so certain times they can do, if there's something that leads them to believe, especially if you have already submitted a previous petition where you have flagged as like marriage fraud, sometimes it could lead to a home visit. Yeah. Good morning, Favor Carey from New York. Does a witness need to must submit? I don't understand. Are you asking, do you have to submit an affidavit in order to be approved of a 360? No, you don't. Not everybody is going to have someone that knows what's going on, but you want to have as many credible evidence as possible because they look at the totality of it. But call my office. Don't try to do this by yourself. This is not the time to dilly-dally or mess around, and I'll be happy to assist you. Do you have to file taxes together to renew your 2-year green card? You don't, but you have to have a reason why you're not filing taxes together. You can also do married filing separately. If you are not single, you definitely do not want to be filing as single or head of household because that could potentially affect you. My son filed for me in 2021. I got my 10-year green card. How long do I have to wait to file for citizenship? And this is with the understanding that you meet all the other requirements, meaning you've been in the country, in the U.S. for the required time, you don't have any crimes of moral turpitude, you've been paying your taxes, etc. From a timeline perspective, you'll be eligible to start looking at your qualifications and filing 4 years and 9 months from the date that you got your green card approved. Okay? I got married before my child was 18, but my husband was abusive and I had to file for VAWA, and my I-130 wasn't submitted before the child was 21. Does that make it hard for me? No, it doesn't make it hard for you. How old is your child? If your child is under 21, that child will automatically come under your VAWA, so your child will get approved for VAWA if you get approved for VAWA. And guys, I'm sorry, but I'm going really fast because I know I don't have a lot of time, so I'm trying to get as many questions answered. I don't even have time to pin my number just because I'm going to run out of time. I need to jump into a consultation, but it's 407-995-6567. I'll say it one more time, 407-995-6567. You can also, if once I'm done with the live, it's also there on my Instagram profile, and it's thrown through the ticker on YouTube and Facebook. Alpha Sonoma says, why are green card interviews waived? Because that's a rule or a decision that this current administration has made to reduce backlogs. There's no promise that this is going to continue next year because this is the first time where marriage-based green cards are being waived because they're typically not waived. And if you guys know anything about immigration, you're going to know that majority of people who fail in this process fail at the interview stage. So again, if you're eligible while all of this is going on, you definitely want to do it right now. Not everybody's interview is going to get waived, but they're definitely working on it if you have an application that is relatively complete. Okay. Again, the number is 407-995-6567. If you got your green card for 5 years, can you apply for citizenship? You're eligible to apply, but there are other things that you need to make sure that you have met in order for you to do it, okay? Do I have to do medical after receiving my I-131 to get my green card? If you've not done your medical, you must have medical done to get your green card, but I would suggest, I don't know what stage you are in or what exactly you're filing, but if you didn't submit it with your 485, you're going to have 2 opportunities to submit it when they request for additional evidence or when you're scheduled for an interview. You can take it then. Okay. All right. One more question, and then I got to jump off. I got married 5 months now and haven't submitted any paperwork as of yet. Would that make my case any easier knowing that I wasn't in a rush? No, it doesn't matter. What USCIS is looking at is, do you have a legitimate marriage? Do you have proof of a legitimate marriage? Whether you submit that 2 weeks after you get married or, 10 years after you get married, that's all they care about. A friend of mine has been calling your office. She was told you're booked full. She needs immigration advice urgently. Adeboyega, if she cannot get me, I have my very able senior associate, Chidera, who she can get on her calendar if there's time is of the essence. So please kindly call and have her schedule. The thing is, I can't cancel other people's appointments that are booked because, they booked. But I also have another associate here who does consultations and is a pretty badass. My baby was born in the US, but I'm in Jamaica. What process is available for me so that I can be able to see him? Unfortunately, it doesn't matter for you. Your baby's a US citizen, but your baby can't file for you until your baby turns 21. Otherwise, the only way that you can see him is if you come here on a visitor's visa. So you would need to file for a visitor's visa. I'm going to say my number one more time, and then I have to jump off. I will be on live again tomorrow. Let me just check my schedule real quick. So I can tell you guys what time. I'm most likely going to be on at 10 tomorrow. I'm going to try my best to do the 30 minutes. Sometimes I have to do an emergency call or whatever it is. And so I don't end up coming as early as I wanted to. So my number is 407 995 6567. You can also WhatsApp me 404 333 8751. All right. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.